guys, and welcome back to the Ducks and Dogs podcast. My name is Mike, here again with my co-host Matt, who knows ball. How you doing today,
Matt? I would just like to say that I know ball. I really do. I know ball.
Why do you know ball, Matt?
Oh, I know ball because we called the blowouts of Oregon against Washington this past weekend.
The blowout of Washington against Oregon, but yes.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, so we didn't expect the game to be close. I don't think either of us expected it to be close if Oregon was actually the team we had seen the past few weeks. And I don't think either of us really doubted it, knowing Dana Altman's track record. We were like, they made a turnaround. This one's more drastic than before, but I don't doubt they made the turnaround. It's Dana Altman coach team. If they start playing well, they normally don't stop.
And honestly, the way UW's been playing this year, they play really bad against good teams. The fact that they had to cancel Gonzaga and UCLA's to their benefit, they still have a winning record. They're 4-3 in conference, which isn't terrible. Like, they're still doing okay. It's just they caught Oregon at the worst time possible, I think, to play them.
I seen something about like men's basketball, women's basketball, and football. Oregon versus Washington over the last like 15 years or something. The record's
it's
47-5.
Yeah, it's horrific.
It's something terrible.
It's really bad.
It's, it makes these Twitter debates with Husky fans a lot more boring. Y'all suck at everything, not just one thing.
And then the college hoops, Fox College Hoops or whatever, puts the tweet out like rivalry wins all time, and it's like, oh well, Washington's up on Oregon. And it's like, well, have we beat them 192 times in the past 10 years? No.
Yeah. So when it comes to every sport, all-time record does not fucking matter. I don't care what your all-time head-to-head is. I don't care that Rutgers was smacking the shit out of Michigan back in the 30s. I don't.
Yeah. I was surprised that Washington-Oregon was on that rivalry, but so was Oregon State, Washington. Or no, was it Washington? No, wait. It was Washington. Washington State was also on that list. Which UW has had good basketball teams in the past, but I didn't think they were that good compared to, like, historically, you know what I mean, compared to Oregon or Washington State. Like,
basketball,
it was kind of surprising.
Basketball wise, I've always felt like UCLA was more of a rival for us than Washington.
Yeah, because Oregon basketball hasn't been outstanding until the 2000s.
Yeah, and I have only been alive that long, so for me, obviously UCLA is going to be that, because I like the Dylan Brooks Lonzo Ball battles were fucking killer.
But UCLA is like an all-time like basketball
all-time great. Yeah, they're blue blood.
Yes.
But I'm saying in my like basketball watching lifetime, we've been almost on par with UCLA. I haven't been watching college hoops all that long. I haven't.
I was gonna say
I've been watching college hoops since like 2010.
Okay.
So I mean,
still,
Dana Altman's done a lot.
No, he's done a lot of good. I will admit he's done a lot of good things. It's just in my mind, it's hard to compare the two. But
what has UCLA done? So let's give it a few extra years. Let's say I started watching in 2008. What was UCLA doing since then in basketball?
I honestly can't remember.
The last title the Pac has
is literally only watching Washington.
The last title the Pac has is like 97, isn't it?
Is it really?
It's something like that. It's not good.
I don't know. I know that they had a really good run last year because 3 or 4 teams made the final or the Elite 8 or whatever it was.
5 made the Elite 8, I think, and something like that.
No,
it was more than half.
No.
It was
either
half of the Sweet 16.
Yes, it was
8
half
of the Sweet 16 were Pac-12 teams, and that was fucking bonkers. Because you had Oregon State, Oregon, UCLA, USC. I believe Stanford was in there in Arizona. That's 6.
Let's just do some research.
Let's do something we never do.
Let's do some live research.
You think they could tell we wing this entire podcast?
Oh, it's so obvious.
I don't know. I feel like we make it pretty seamless most of the time.
Yeah, that's fair. Okay, so USC, Oregon, UCLA,
Oregon State,
and that is it for the Elite 8.
So USC.
No, that's the Sweet. That's the Sweet 16. That's the Sweet 16.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So 5? What's that? 4. Arizona didn't make it?
No.
That's crazy. I thought they would have, considering how good they are this year, too.
I think they got upset early on, if I remember, because they were still really good last year.
Does Oregon play Arizona for the rest of this year? Because, we could beat them.
Maybe not. Oh, interesting.
We could really beat them.
I'm,
We do.
I want to say
February
no.
19th.
The problem is you got to get up on them early because if they go on a run, it's game over. They will
We
just
play.
go on a run.
Okay, we got a kind of tough stretch. Colorado, Oregon State, Colorado again, Utah, then Stanford, Cal, ASU, Arizona, UCLA, USC.
Yeah, that slate of Arizona, UCLA, USC is a tough one. I mean, it's hard to beat any team
UCLA,
twice.
UCLA and USC is a 2-day turnaround.
Oh God, that's brutal. They're both home games though.
Matthew Knight is probably going to start getting loud now again.
Yeah,
We play at
I
Arizona
mean it has
though.
been. Ooh, that's a tough one.
But I think Dana.
Wazoo.
His name is Dana Altman, and he aligns Rubik's cubes.
Rubik's cubes. Washington State at the end of the year is low key a trap game because that's in Pullman, but also Washington State has fallen off since the beginning of the season.
I ain't scared of them.
Yeah,
I think
that stretch of Arizona, UCLA, USC is tough though.
I think we can win 2 of those 3.
You can.
And I think that
It'll be very, very difficult, but you can.
If we end this season with 4 Q1 wins.
Oh yeah,
that'd be nice.
Yeah,
but that's
that's
the only game we can afford to lose is one of those 3. We can't lose anything else.
If you keep your hot streak at that point, and if you drop more than 2 games, you have to win the Pac-12 to get in.
Mm-hmm. Which
that's it.
Also isn't like too far fetched at this point.
No, not at all, because they'll have some pretty quality wins under their belt. But if you lose more than 2 the rest of the way, you have to win the tournament to get in. I think.
If you lose more than 1, I think
the beginning of the season was just so abysmal, like so bad.
Now, to be fair, there were a lot of guys out. And back and forth, in and out of the lineup was annoying. So
but also, when you have a tournament of 64 teams, that doesn't quite get taken into consideration. After losing to, BYU, St. Mary's, Arizona State in overtime, who has been
BYU was supposed to be good when they beat us, and then they sucked.
Yeah, I feel like that's every year, just because when Jimmer Fredette was there, they were killing everybody.
Yeah, it's been fun. That was actually an enjoyable basketball game for me to watch. I really enjoyed that game.
For you, it was so bad I literally woke up with the stomach flu the next day. So, yeah, so that's how that went for me. It got halfway through the first half, and I was like, "All right, we're done."
Did you see all the tweets that all the college football accounts were putting out? All the college
Honestly, no. I went to bed.
There was college football accounts tweeting, "Dang, looks just like football." Which we didn't blow y'all out or anything. But
no, I was gonna say
it was funny that the national perception was just like football.
The thing is that that was just a blowout of such bad proportions. I don't even know if you can compare it to football.
70-21.
Yeah.
I mean, 49, but got lost by 49. Yeah, no.
Yeah. Okay, but you couldn't beat a Jimmy Lake team by more than 10 points. Come on now. Give me a break.
Mario Cristobal couldn't beat anybody by more than 10 points. That would require...
Certainly not Utah.
That would require a quarterback throwing touchdowns. That's not a generational Justin Herbert. The fact that this man, Justin Herbert, looks like a god in the NFL and looked mediocre at Oregon at times is beyond me.
Yeah, crazy.
Beyond, how the fuck did we lose to Arizona State?
I don't know.
How the fuck did Justin Herbert have to run for 3 touchdowns against Wisconsin? Speaking of Wisconsin, hold up, wait a minute, pause, time out. What the fuck is going on with Caleb Williams?
Caleb Williams? I don't know. I was on Twitter literally an hour ago, and news is breaking apparently that Caleb Williams is now favored to go to Wisconsin. Which I didn't read into, so I don't know any
They have a solid defense. They have good line. They have good running back. So it makes sense. They've always just been a quarterback away. But what are they going to do? Make him hand the ball off 45 times a game?
That's the thing. Wisconsin's not a flashy quarterback school.
Russell Wilson.
Oh, yeah. He was the last one, and one of the only ones in recent memory.
To be fair, can you think of a quarterback they had who was worth letting him throw the ball?
No. You're going to tell me Mertz was worth throwing the ball? You're going to tell me that guy can throw the ball?
I mean, look at Russ. He sucks now, too. Shit.
Oh, damn. That's crazy. He owns the NFC West, sadly. Still.
Does he?
Yeah.
How was their playoff game?
Oh. Well, we have a decade, so it's fine. It's fine. Look at the decade before that. Just not in this year. That's the outlier. Hey, if the Niners make it to the Super Bowl, transitive property checks out. The Seahawks beat them twice this year, so I'll take it.
No.
Yeah.
I think everybody who doesn't have a team still in the playoffs is in agreement. We want Joe Burrow to win.
Oh yeah, totally.
I think everyone is. If your team is not in the playoffs, Joe Burrow is like, he's got the same personality as Baker Mayfield, but likable, and it makes no sense.
And he's like really, really good.
And he's likable.
Mayfield's not. Yeah.
Baker's not as likable as Joe Burrow. I like Baker because I love the cocky, grab your nuts attitude. Like, that's. I wonder why I like that attitude. Weird. But Joe Burrow is so much more likable with like a similar personality, and it's just all in how he like portrays it.
It's the
delivery.
It's the difference between confidence and cockiness. Yeah. It really is. Like
Joe Burrow, get the get with the base where cocky. Bro, Joe Burrow, he's got so much swag for no fucking reason, bro. For no fucking reason. Joe Burrow. Are you talking about what Pooh Shiesty said? Joe Burrow. God, I love that.
Back to Caleb Williams, though. I do want to make it somewhat relevant to the Pac-12 because, I mean, USC was like the main target.
Travis Dye playing quarterback.
For a while. Yeah, for real. Did that happen in the past week, or was that last week?
What, Travis Dye?
Yeah. That was like a few days ago, wasn't it?
I don't think we talked about it. No.
Well, if we haven't mentioned it, Travis Dye is at USC now, so good for him.
Go Ball. You don't play Oregon this year, and you won't make the Pac-12 title game, so doesn't bother me that much. Go get them.
Riley,
go get them RB1.
Is USC going to take in the South this year?
Third.
Second.
Does he hold these up? He's gonna have to do the Arizona State thing.
They do like a weird. It's like this. Like it's the weird finger down.
Are they Tupac?
I don't know, dude.
Nah, but I think they finished third. I'm gonna pick the same team to win the South I did last year, but that's gonna be for another podcast.
Yeah, it's a long ways away.
Only because DTR is still there.
That's fair. That's huge for them. Honestly.
DTR, if he ever figures it out, I don't know if it's possible for him to figure it out.
You saw glimpses of it though.
We've seen glimpses every year. Yeah. If he ever figures it out,
saying much.
It's tough.
Mm-hmm.
UCLA probably beats Oregon last year with DTR. It's not getting hurt during the game.
That's right. I forgot he got hurt.
DTR balled out. He had like 460 something yards.
He played really well.
He was going insane. Yeah. USC. Let's talk about USC.
Yeah, there we go.
What do we think about USC going into next year? Like, are you scared of the? Well, I mean, you probably should be because you're about the same caliber as they've been the past 10 years.
Well, should I be? Yeah, probably. But am I? I'm really not. Like, at least for all the hype they're getting, I don't buy into all of it because you still have to be able to develop all of the talent you're bringing in.
I'm ready for them to be overrated so we get a quality win.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like that's the story with USC every year, though. And it's especially going to be this year. They really have to prove it.
Them adding Travis Dye is just going to help people ride that train so hard because he was Oregon's probably best offensive player last year. So they're going to ride, and Oregon ended up finishing like 18th, I think, something like that. But Oregon was a decent team, and their best player on offense is now on USC. So, you know, they're going to add that to his little hype train, and it's gonna be nuts. But I do think Dye will play really well there. I know they don't have an offensive line, but Dye's pretty physical.
Yeah. Oregon finished 22nd, by the way.
Yeah, we somehow finished ranked after getting our asses kicked.
Yeah, a lot of the AP poll, I saw the whole votes, like they put out that graphic every week. There was not a lot of Oregon on there. I know that much. But also, who are you going to put ahead of them?
Yeah, and let's be real. I mean? If we're being completely honest, Oregon beats half of the teams ahead of them anyways.
No.
If our coach is not already in Miami mentally,
maybe Wake Forest. That's the only one I'm sold on. That's it. But it doesn't matter.
Telling me
that's in the past.
Telling me we can't beat who the fuck was ranked out of the G5? Southern Methodist.
They're actually not on this one.
Whoever, I guarantee you, like 5 of the teams right in front of us we'd beat.
Not Arkansas, not NC State.
Not
No shot. You're beating Arkansas. I'm
Arkansas
sorry.
is not good. Arkansas was not good
They're
last year
solid.
at all.
They're solid.
They played good in one game, and everyone's like, oh, they might be good, and then they proceed to lose.
Well in a few games.
Who they play well against? A&M, who almost lost to Colorado.
A&M, who also beat Alabama.
A&M beats Alabama every other year for some fucking reason.
That's an enigma. You can't really explain that one.
It's like how Oregon always loses to an Arizona school, even though they always suck.
Yeah.
It makes no sense, but it happens.
Beat A&M, beat Texas at the beginning of the year,
you
beat Mississippi State when they were ranked.
That was an enigma.
What?
Khalil Tate. That was an
Yeah.
enigma.
That is
2014 Khalil Tate was absurd.
Yeah, that is. Yeah.
That was,
That entire 2014 Arizona team is just bizarre.
An enigma.
Yeah.
They beat Marcus Mariota and the Oregon Ducks.
It's so weird.
Won 11 games. Damn near made the fucking playoff if they would have beat Oregon again.
Yeah. God, can you imagine?
They would have got slapped by Florida State.
Oh, they would have 100%. But that's still crazy to think that it was almost Arizona, dude.
2014, Oregon was literally everyone in the Pac Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Because like 2007 to 14, it was just
they were
spanking everyone's ass.
Yeah.
And Arizona played really well against us for some reason. They would have went to the playoffs and played really bad when they didn't have a reason to be motivated. But we wouldn't have gotten all the memes.
Wait, did that team have...
Who are you thinking?
Gronk? Did they have Gronk on that team? Is he older?
Gronk's older. Gronk's like 08.
Okay. Jesus, I'm
Gronk's
tripping.
older.
Who was on that? There was somebody else on that team then that like comes to mind. Like there's somebody else I feel like I'm forgetting.
I don't know. I
Not
have,
that it matters.
and I did. You can look it up while I say this because I'm announcing something without consulting Matt, like I always do. I think next podcast, what we're gonna do, since obviously we're getting into the off season, if no news, so the next podcast, no big news breaks, just to cover our ass on that sense. We are gonna go over our favorite games from the Oregon-Washington rivalry. We'll each pick 3.
I'm down.
But
like
there's one rule: no pick, no 70-21.
Okay, I can get down with that.
That makes it, get the obvious ones out of the way. You can highlight some other games that were more fun.
Yeah.
That and for some podcast episodes, obviously going forward, we have our favorite games in Pac-12, our favorite games from our team in our lifetime. Our most anticipated games going in the next year. There's so much stuff that we're going to be working on going into this offseason. Obviously, we're not a basketball-centric podcast. You could see behind Matt and behind me that there are football fields there, probably for a reason. Plus, nobody wants to
It is fun to watch. I mean, it's obviously worth talking about in the rivalry sense because it's the second biggest
it's
sport.
the Ducks and Dawgs.
Yeah.
Let's be real, though. Softball and women's basketball are more prevalent in the rivalry.
Yeah. More competitive.
Yeah. Doesn't take much. I think rowing is more competitive, and y'all are really good at that.
Yeah.
I don't know if we have a rowing team. Let me not say that.
I don't know. I know Cal does. Cal is like apparently the other big Pac-12 school.
I don't think we do.
You have hockey though. Your hockey team's good.
But our hockey team gets promoted a league and is still kicking ass. I think
something we can. Oh,
go ahead.
Go for it.
Go ahead.
I was going to say something we could mention is the transfer portal because Washington did just sign Cam Bright from Pitt.
Yeah, you finally added a player who's not mediocre from the transfer portal.
Yeah, I mean it's definitely their best portal signing so far.
Dumas is Penix is really.
And Dumas is good. Penix is okay. I mean, it helps that he's with DeBoer, who he had his best season with. Like
you sound like Oregon fans arguing for Bo Nix. I don't want to hear it.
I'm just saying, man. I trust DeBoer's offensive mind more than Dillingham's offensive mind.
I don't know if I'd go that far.
What do you mean you wouldn't go that far? Dillingham, really?
When has DeBoer's offense been good without Jake Haener?
2019 Indiana, dude. They were second in the Big Ten. What? Don't give me that look. I'm literally correct on that one.
Yeah, outside of Ohio State, there's always some killers like Michigan State and Rutgers and Michigan. You can't think of those teams in the context of this year, because if you think of them in the context of the 11 and or 10-2 Michigan State,
Indiana had their best season offensively in forever under DeBoer being the OC there. Like, you can't even argue that.
That's cool and all, but I don't care.
What do you mean you don't care? I'm literally correct.
I don't care.
I'm literally correct.
But I don't care. That's the thing.
Fine, whatever.
I mean, then I could argue that Auburn's offense hasn't been as good since Dillingham left, which is accurate, but
yeah,
I'm not going to make that argument because it's a bad argument.
Well, all the stats back mine up, and it
all
was
the
like
stats
an actual...
would back mine up, but my brain wouldn't.
I'm literally right. On this one.
So now
This is the first time in the history of the show I've been so sure of something
so now I'm going to hype up Kenny Dillingham as the reason that Auburn was good in 2019, and Bo Nix is going to look like Bo Nix his freshman year and not be the Bo Nix we've seen for the past 2 years, because we have Kenny Dillingham.
The Heisman.
Why his name is listed on the Heisman odds is beyond me. 60-1. Travis Dye's odds should be better than Bo Nix's. First of all, why is Travis Dye at 150-1? He's getting all the carries. That list of the Heisman
dark horse
odds,
for Heisman. He's having fun. He's comfortable.
Listen, I think he could be good, but the two flaws he has to fix are major. Trusting your protection is more than just saying, "Oh, this line is better." It's a mental thing. You got to actually mentally and internally trust your protection.
Yeah.
And then footwork, which is hard to fix, but you can fix it in a single offseason. It's not an impossible task.
Not impossible.
It's not.
I mean, I think it might honestly, like, this is a bit of a long shot of a statement, so bear with me. Might even be easier because of everything else that's changing, like change of scenery, change of system, change of team. Like, with everything else changing, like, he'll just be ready to take on whatever's thrown at him.
He's going to be like, there ain't shit to do in Oregon, so I just got to practice.
Yeah, seriously.
Then again, what the fuck is there to do in Auburn?
I don't know. Drink.
True. Oh God, glad Taylor's is closed. The barn glad Taylor's is
over.
Closed. Oh, I do want to address something with the Oregon fans. If any Oregon fans on Twitter are listening to this, stop crying that we're not taking any transfers. We have 6 roster spots. What the fuck do you want us to do? They're like, oh yeah, USC just added this guy who would have been a backup at Oregon. We should have went and got him. Why? At linebacker? Why the fuck would we add a linebacker?
That's like the position you literally don't need.
That's the position we have too many bodies at.
Yeah.
Why? And then they're like, oh yeah, Lanning hasn't been able to bring anyone from Georgia. We have 6 spots. Before Verdell completely announced, we had 5. We're probably getting Jaleel Florence. We're still on the border for Connolly and Iuli.
Yep.
We're getting a running back. Which one? No fucking clue. We're getting a running back. We're getting one of Coda and Boardingham. So, I mean, we have, 1 or 2 spots? Cool. We also have Christian Miller we're on the board for. I honestly do think we land one of Connolly or Iuli. And, like, do you want us to pull scholarships out of thin fucking air? And do you want a guy to take Oregon's backup job rather than starting at USC? Yeah. It makes no sense. Oregon fans drive me fucking nuts sometimes.
Also, if anybody wants to fight Mike, based on what I've seen in the Twitter spaces, he'll drop his address, so just let him know.
And then they'll delete the tweets.
He wants all the smoke.
And then they'll delete the tweets.
Yeah. So just leaving that open to everybody listening right now. My gift to you is that information today. So,
hey, I'll be at the Georgia game. That's all I can say.
There's gonna be a brawl in the parking lot an hour before kickoff.
No, there's not. Yeah. But on that note, guys, I want to thank you for watching the Ducks and Dogs podcast. My name is Mike, and we'll talk to you on the next episode. Go Ducks!